Are you trusting in Jesus this morning? Would anyone care to tell about it? Anyone have any testimonies?
I'm just going to say, Lord, something happened Sunday that really just, God showed me how He can help us. So I went home over the weekend to be home with my family, and go to a spring game and just be with them. And Sunday morning I woke up and I had a message on my heart. I don't know why. It was a message I preached in class in hermeneutics, and for some reason I had a message in my heart, and God told me, "You're preaching tonight." And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't know where I'm preaching at, but He said, I'm preaching tonight. And I said, Lord, if this is of You, it'll happen. And Sunday morning, I could walk out of church, and my pastor said, Logan, when you leave? I said, well, I'm leaving at the church. He said, well, why don't you plan on preaching for us tonight? And I just thank God how He gave me kind of a heads up. But then I went home, and I had no notes, and I was like, oh, Lord, here we go again. But He helped me, gave me the thoughts, and He helped me last night. I just want to appreciate God for how He showed me that if we just trust Him and if we do His will, that He'll lead us in ways that we never thought He could. I love Him. I thank Him. I'm just glad that He helped me out with Sunday night preaching.
Is there anyone else who has any other testimonies?
I just want to thank the Lord that He's been so good to me. There's been a lot of things since I came to college here that there's been a lot of struggles and a lot of battles, and He's just shown Himself time and time again that He will help me through it all. And no matter what it is, no matter the trial, we might think, oh my word, I can't get over this, but He's not going to give you too much that you can't. He promised that in His word, and He will always be there beside you to help you through.
I'm thankful Lord for what He's done for me. So the weekend before I went home because my church was having a lock-in, and on the way home I got a flat tire. There's something on the road, and literally 10 of us had flat tires on the side of the road, and I'm kind of glad I wasn't by myself or anything, but it was still scary. I didn't know what to do. I was traveling by myself. I'm like, what are you going to tell me? But people came and helped me, and so I thank Him for that, keeping His protecting hand over me, because it could have been a lot worse. And then that weekend we had a lock-in, and God came in a mighty way Sunday night in the service, and I'm not exaggerating. After altar call, 10 people went up, went back to their seats, sing a song, 5 more people went back, 15 more people went up, and it was truly amazing. And I was praying about this one person that he just go up and lay everything on the altar, get right with God, and he did. And I just thank the Lord for that, because God cares about the things we care about, and I thank Him for that. And then IHC was great. Whenever we sang and the mass choirs, and it was just incredible to feel God's presence and be a part of that. And I don't want to fail to give God the glory for that, because He didn't have to do it, but He did, and I thank Him for that. And I love Him. I can't wait to see Him someday.
All right. Praise the Lord. A little bit before IHC, campus was really dead, and barely anybody was on campus. And I was really bored. I'm the type of person who has to go and do something. And I went to the gym. I was like, well, there's a piano there. Let me try something. I don't know how to play piano at all. So I was like, nobody's on campus. Nobody's going to hear this. Nobody's going to hear the train wreck this could possibly be. So I just sat down. I know how to play by ear a little bit, but I haven't played in years. So I was just like, I'm going to look up something on YouTube. I looked up easy piano songs, and Waymaker came up, and I was like, okay, that's good that it's a Christian song, so I'll learn that, and I can safely say that I know how to play Waymaker now. But the point I'm saying is, while I was learning it, I wasn't learning the words, and I was like, well, let me add in the words of the song while I'm playing the keys, because that might help you learn a little bit. So I already knew the song, but as I was playing it, I was like going through the words in my head, and I'm right now going through something that like could very much impact my future if I don't act now and be responsible now. And I was in my head thinking, wow, if I learn how to play this decently enough, I'll play it in chapel one day when this situation is better and everything works out because he's Waymaker. And I when I was going through that thought in my head while I was playing, I thought in my head, one of the lyrics is, you are turning lives around. It's not, he will turn lives around. He's not talking to the future, he's talking to now. He's making a way right now. And I just thought, even though I do have to act now about certain things, I just love the fact that, I don't know how to make this make sense, but it's just so beautiful that he's making a way now, and even though that way in the future might not be what I want or how I expect it to be, if he's at the center of the path that I'm going, then whatever is at the other side of this path is going to be a real beautiful thing. So I'm so grateful, and this is something he taught me at IHC too. Now I'm seeing connections. That he showed me that just act now and keep me at the center, and everything at the end will be beautiful. So I'm really grateful for he's teaching me.
I want to give Lord praise this morning. I'm so thankful for everything he's done for me. So thankful for how he's helped me to grow and how he's helped me to draw closer to him. I want to be all I can for him. I want to do everything he wants me to do and not do what I
Is there anyone else before we go to the announcements?
I want to thank the Lord for protecting me. The past few, over IHC, there were a few instances where things kind of went a way I'd rather them not go. And not to make myself look bad, but starting out right away, I took a tumble off the trailer, and I was worried I would pass out because literally it looked like I was underwater. That's how dizzy I was. And I want to thank God that I didn't actually pass out. And then, I don't really know how to phrase this. I thank God for his presence in the services. It was hard though not being able to focus during the sermons and stuff. But I did get a little bit out after the fact. The sermon where Thelma translated, that was very powerful. I want to thank God that he's alive, and that though we may make bad decisions or may do things that don't necessarily help our own situation, he's there.
All right, if there's no one else that has any other testimonies, we're going to go into the announcements. First off, college registration is April 27th through the 28th. You'll need to schedule a meeting with your advisor, and it says there's more details to follow. So I did talk to Sister Davis, and she said that the list for the classes is supposed to come out hopefully by the end of the week. So be on the lookout for that. April 29th is our student recital in the Fulton Chapel, which is here at 7 p.m. Refreshments are to follow, which is why I'm coming. And then come support your fellow students. Actually, that's not why I'm coming. I'm a music major, so I'm required to go. But still, I mean, you all should come. April 30th is our all-school picnic, and there's more details to follow with that as well. But that's all school, so that includes you guys, so you should probably come. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time with the picnic. And then, looks like the upcoming chapels. This Thursday, Brother Williams will be over at the chapel there, and then Tuesday is a small groups chapel. And for a final announcement, Brother Phil Ward has an announcement concerning Senior Day. I'll let him do that.
Thank you, Nate. Actually wanted to add to the announcement about the registering, pre-registering. We also have a summer, I think it was around 9 summer classes online that we're offering for you this summer. All right, so June, it'll start in June. Details will come out, more details about those classes, specific classes will come out for you. This is a great opportunity, though, for you to get some classes out of the way in the summertime before you come back in the fall. All right, so Senior Day. I'm very excited, and this goes really well. We'll do it again next year in addition to preview days. We'll add it onto the calendar if it goes really well. So I'm excited. Expectations have already been exceeded on the turnout. We're going to have a great turnout. I'm excited about that. You are the key. And I say that all the time, but it's true. You are the key to this event. You're the key to the success of this event. It'll be all day Thursday. They'll be arriving around 8:30. 8:30 to 9 is registration. We'll have coffee in Union Central and donuts. During between first and second period, come on down. Come on down and get a donut. You're welcome to do so. And if you know some of the seniors, get to know them if you don't know them. But if you know them, invite them to a class. If you have a class in second period, take them up there with you. That could be a great experience for them. They will be visiting classes, chapel, choir. And then we'll take them on a tour and a connection time in the afternoon. And then in the evening, I want to let you know in the evening from 6 to 9, we'll be having activities and games. Clayton we'll be heading that up. And in charge of that, if some of you want to help, go see him. But we want to invite all of you, all of our staff and students. You're welcome to come, and we just encourage you to be there. As I said, you're the key to this event. Be warm and welcoming and friendly, and go out of your way. If you don't let a senior be off by themselves, alone. All right, talk to them, invite them to a class. Show up Thursday evening. You won't want to miss it. It'll be a fun time of activities and games. Sports there in the gym, whatever. I don't know what Clayton has planned, but we want you to show up. We'll be serving ice cream, and you included in that. We'll have ice cream for you, and also a drink from Union Central on the PR tab. All right, so don't ever say PR never did anything for you. All right, no, but seriously, you can get a drink on the PR tab and take part in the activities here. This could be a great event. Let's be praying about it. That God would just help us. That there be a sense of His presence. I said you're the key to this event. You really are. But even more so, He is the key. The Holy Spirit, God coming and showing up and being here. And I'd love to see all of them, many of them, all of those seniors there back here in the fall. So let's be praying. Let's be there for this event. It's exciting.
All right, as I said, today is a student chapel. We're going to have some students come up and talk about their experience at IHC. But before we do that, we're going to have a special from Luther Untitled. going to have 4 people come up, then we're going to have them come back and play another song. So the first 4 people are going to be Caitlin Fox, Logan Graham, Jacob Neff, and Drew Rayfeld. And so if you'll just come up one after another so I don't have to announce them.
Now I get to bring it back down again. So when I was asked to do this, I did not know I was going first, so that is news to me. But anyways, I did really enjoy IHC this past week. It was, we had a lot of really good services, but probably my favorite was Brother Miranda's message the very last night. And one thing that really stood out to me that during that service was he was talking about Daniel, and he said something along these lines, basically that the devil isn't scared that we have a church. The devil isn't scared that we gather together. The devil isn't scared that we do all of these things. But the devil is scared when we get down on our knees and pray. And it just it's one of those things that we know. We know that prayer is powerful, but it doesn't resonate sometimes just how powerful prayer is. And just the fact that when it feels like the devil is beating me down all the time, the fact is that I have access to one who's already defeated him. I have access to one who cares about me, one who is going to step in for me if I just ask. And so that was just one thing. And then another thing in that same message was he was talking about Daniel and how faithfully he prayed. And it just kind of made me realize Daniel didn't start praying once he found out, oh, I might be thrown into a den of lions. No, he was already praying. And it just so happened that because he was praying, he ended up having to face that trial. But he was already settled. He already had a relationship with God. It wasn't out of fear that he was like, oh, I need to do what I need to do. No, he already had that relationship with God. And it was really a challenge to my own heart that, do I have that relationship with God? Or is it more just, oh, I'm struggling right now. God, here I am, help me. But then just kind of being lax other days. And it just really challenged my heart to be consistent, to just follow after God, to chase after what the things that he wants for me, and to not just sit back and just see how it turns out. And then if I happen to face a trial, I'll be like, okay, God, can you step in real quick? But no, it's more like, God, here I am again. This time things aren't going that great, but here I am as per usual. And so I really enjoyed that service specifically. I'm so thankful for how God used all of the services, how he came in a special way. Just each night, it was just really special to me, and I want to thank him that I was able to go.
I always love doing these things. You never know what you're going to say. So, let's see. We went there Wednesday. We got there 3 o'clock. I was in one service, the night service. It was pretty good. That's probably my favorite service, though. Not being biased just because UBC sung, but I liked it when we sang Is He Worthy again. I liked how people responded against that song, and how, God bless that song. And it was funny, Sunday morning, at my home church, I went back and people were still talking about that service. People were testifying about the service that were there, testifying about that main service, how God really helped them and blessed them in that service. And something that stood out to me is God can use us in ways that we don't think He can. And really, the message is if we just mind God, if we just truly mind Him and do what He wants, then He will bless people through us in a way that we never thought could be. I appreciate the service. I like the morning service as well. Bo Smith, I don't know why, he just went, like, he was preaching his poems, pretty cool. But yeah, but what God showed me there, is that where I need to be spiritually. Kind of, that little check you get, when you go into a revival and you leave and okay, Lord, help me get here in my life. And so God showed me some things in my life that I need to get better at and grow in. And I'm so thankful that for IHC, I'm thankful for His presence that was there. I'm thankful for His faithfulness. But you're a faithful God that's faithful to work in us and work with us and show us what we need to do. And so I just appreciate God for that. But the Wednesday night services was really, really interesting. I love to see God using us and God blessing people. And so that was my favorite service.
So what did I learn at IHC? Well, I learned a couple of things. I learned that bears are really confident creatures, scarily confident creatures. I learned that Tennessee and my allergies don't mix. And I learned that everything apparently closes before 9 o'clock. But I also, God really used IHC to teach me a lot of other things. I've been really struggling in the last couple of weeks with knowing how to trust God and genuinely be doing so. It's easy to say, God, I trust you with this. God, I trust you with what's going on. God, I believe you're going to work in it. But I've been walking around the last couple of weeks with just this feeling, when like someone's like, hey, let's go on this, let's go do this, like a roller coaster or something. You don't want to do it. You're terrified. But you agree to do it and you walk around with that pit in your stomach. I've been walking around so nervous and so anxious about so many things that I had going on in my life that I was walking around I wanted to trust God with it, but I had that pit. Just that feeling of just I don't know what's going on, and life is a roller coaster. And I remember I was sitting in the service, and I was like, God, I trust you. I trust you with it. And I found it hard, to be completely honest. On choir tour, we were singing, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. And I had this moment where I was like, God, I know it's true that the righteous have never been forsaken. I know I've never been forsaken, but God, just please show me why it feels like it. Just please show me. There was this moment at IHC where God was like, you got to go to the altar. And I thought, He's not preaching about that. He's not preaching specifically on trusting you. It was when Brother Scott was giving his testimony. And I held back. And then he said, that he had to tell him about the stand. And I thought, it's the small little things that can really make the biggest difference. I remember I ran up to the altar and I hit my knees and I just started praying, God, I give it to you. I trust you. I trust you with everything. I don't care what the outcome of things are in my life. I don't care about this situation. I just trust you. I don't know what else to say. And I remember Brother Buckler came up to and he was praying with me and he was talking to me. And I told him, I don't know what to do. I'm telling God I trust him. I feel like I trust him, but I'm just walking around as though I don't. And there was this moment where I began praying and I said, God, no matter what, if everyone else walks out of this place and I'm stuck alone with you, it's enough. And there was just this overwhelming peace that came, and it was just incredible. And I'm so thankful for that peace that God gives. There was just a moment where we realized we can trust Him. The next day we were in choir, the practice for Matt's choir, and Brother Ryder, I remember his name. Brother Ryder was up there and he was talking, and we got to the point where it said, I will save the Lord, He is my strong tower. And he said, if you'll just change it and say tower instead of tower. And it was so weird, like, He is my strong tower. And how is that supposed to come out sounding right? But he said it did. And it did. It sounded great. And sometimes we're stuck in this life with just this view of things like, I don't understand how this is going to go right. But sometimes God instructs us with the towers so we can get the right sounding tower at the end. He knows how things are coming together. Sometimes He gives us a tower so we can have a really good tower. And then finally, the service on Wednesday, God came in such an incredible way. And I know it's going to be a big standout to people. But I had this guy text me who doesn't know the holiness movement at all. He's a Southern Baptist. And he texted me the next day and he said, I just want to say I'm really thankful for your choir. And that's he only knew it through me. And he said, I'm really thankful for your choir because I stayed up hours last night after watching that. My brother sent it to him because he knew me. Not my brother, him. The guy knew me, and my brother sent it to him so he could hear it. Of course, my brother knew me. So anyways, he sent it to him, and the guy listened to it. He said, I was up hours praying and crying over that song. And it goes to show, you know, God's willing to partner his big hand with our little hand and just go into ministry. And I'm so thankful that God can use us, just a group of random college students, to bless the heart of such a huge portion of the homeless movement, but also outside of it. And it's just an incredible opportunity to be able to work with God and know that he's still using stuff. Even after, when we get down, God's not done. When we step down from the risers, God's not done. He's still working. And I love him. And that's all I learned. Well, it's not all I learned. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, later.
I didn't be able to pull the mic down, but I was told to, so. Okay, I was very happy to get to go to IHC this year. Very blessed. It was very different this year, very different, and I feel like the last 2 years have been very different. And probably my favorite part was our song when we sang. I know that sounds a little cliche, but it was the best song in my opinion. And I'm so thankful that he comes and he gives us exactly what we need. In my life over the last couple of years, God's been teaching me to trust him a lot, just like Jake said. And the songs, Be Still and Know, that Jordan led, it all went really well with what I wanted to say. Just to calm down, take a seat, and just let God have everything, and just trust him. Over choir tour, I was going through some stuff. I really didn't want to be on choir tour. I did, but I wasn't there that much. It was not fun. And I loved that one service when I went to the bus and I was kind of depressed. And I already said this, I think, when I talked to the choir after devotions, but Caleb came in and he was, saying how he was not feeling great. He was just depressed. And I think Logan came in and he said the same thing. I realized that for some reason the devil was fighting him. And whether we didn't feel like it or not, we had to praise God. We had to go there and we had to do our best, and we did. And it was our best choir service that tour. And I'm so thankful that even though we don't deserve it, even though we don't feel like it, God gives us the strength, and He wants to use us. And I'm so thankful that He chooses to use us. And that was my favorite part of IHG, just being able to be used. And it was an awesome service, even though IHC wasn't like it had been in the past. I didn't feel the same way, and it was different. But I'm so thankful that he came, he met with us, and he showed me it was kind of renewing, just helped me get back rejuvenated, have my eyes set on what I need to be and who I need to be. And I'm so thankful that he chooses to use me, someone who's not worthy, someone who doesn't deserve his help. And I don't have any complaints. I'm so happy to be a Christian this morning. I'm so thankful for all he's done for me. And thank you.
All right, we're going to have the guys come back, and after that, we're going to have 3 more people.
I would like to testify before they come back. They were talking about the Wednesday night, what happened, and I would like to let the choir know that there's just been a lot of people that have contacted me, people I didn't even know, about how God used that song in their lives. I had somebody just tell me Wednesday night, they said, my wife has listened to that song probably 25 times or 30 times, played it over and over again. And I just want to thank God, because really 2 weeks before that, I didn't even know if I would be able to go to choir tour. I'm sorry, IHC. And I just thank God for how he's been helping me in a huge way. And I want to thank God for how he used us. I don't take that lightly. And I told God even this morning, I said, God, you and I both know that was all you. And I just want to praise him. He is so worthy. And I think the reason God honors that song is because we are lifting him to his rightful place. He is worthy. He is so worthy. And I told my husband the other day in the car, I started crying. I said, can you imagine what it's going to be when we get to heaven and we're right in his midst and we're worshiping him and praising him? I just love him with all my heart. I'm so glad that everything in my heart is God's and that I'm his child and I love him and I worship him.
Amen.
Good job. Alrighty, for the next three speakers, we're supposed to have Keisha Holderbaum, Ben Forsey, and Kyler Holderbaum. So if you'll just come up.
Well, hello, everybody. I guess this is okay. Okay, so this is kind of nerve-wracking being up here in front of everybody. But okay, so whenever I first got asked to do this, the first thing I thought of was the Wednesday night service whenever we sing. And I know pretty much everyone already said that, but it was really, really good. And I probably hear it every day. My mom listens to it like all the time, and my family does. But before that service, I can't remember if I specifically prayed for the service, and I do apologize for that. I just don't, like with everything going on, I don't know if I actually prayed for the service, but we were going up, you know, it was going good. And then whenever Brother Witt was talking, I prayed. I'm like, Lord, you can work in such a mighty way in this song. You've done it before on choir tour, and this song, it's not anything on us or our choir. I mean, like, yeah, we're good, but it's not anything on us. It's God's choice. He doesn't have to use us. He doesn't have to use that song or anything. So I prayed while Brother Witt was talking. I'm like, Lord, if you can, and if you will, come and meet with us in this song. I'm like, make a difference. Help it to mean something to somebody, and they react to it the way it should be reacted to, because he is worthy. He's so worthy of everything, and then there's just us, and we don't deserve anything, but he's just so worthy. And so I was praying, then whenever we started singing and when we got to the chorus, you could just see the people standing and raising their hands, and I'm like, Lord, thank you. I'm like, that was you. You did that, and it was just amazing to me. It helped me. I was like, Lord, you're so worthy. And then I went home then that weekend, and I testified about it. Like, I asked the Lord to help, so I wanted to give him praise for helping us. And then Timmy Ellis, he was there, and he's like our pastor, and he also said about it, and how he said it. He was like, it was truly incredible to see the reaction that everyone had, and he was like, that was God. He said, he's like, if you weren't there, you missed it, and that's true. If you weren't there, you missed it. And I think all of us went, but I'm glad I had the privilege to go and to experience that for myself, and God helped, and I do appreciate for that. And then Thursday, the mass choir songs. We were practicing, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is okay. We're just singing again. But then I don't know what changed when we were up there singing. The words had a new meaning to me. I mean, obviously it was God's Spirit, but it was just incredible to me. Like, he just came, and like different things that I was singing, I was like, oh, that's true, Lord, that's you. And I'm like, Lord, thank you for that. And so I felt like he came in that service too, and I thank him for that. And then, I don't know, most of you know this about me, but I come from a very, very little town in Pennsylvania. We have one stoplight, and it's just us. And honestly, I never heard of IHC ever until I came here to school. Like, I had no idea about it. And so, to me, going and seeing all of them people, the holiness people, it is such an encouragement to me. Like, and I grew up in a public school, so I was never around a lot of holiness people except for my little church. So being around that many holiness people is such an encouragement to me, and an encouragement to other people as well. I think most of you guys, maybe came to the academy, so you're used to this, but me and my one friend, we're talking, and we're not used to this. Like, seeing everyone in skirts and everyone praising God, and you just meet up with someone and talk about God, I'm like, I'm not used to that. And so I see, just seeing all the thousands of people there to praise God, it was incredible experience for me, and I thank the Lord for bringing me to UBC and hearing about it, and then giving me the opportunity to be able to go. It was really an encouragement and upliftment to me. And one of the messages, I can't remember, it was one at the time Discovery, maybe Dwight talked about it, I don't know, something along the lines like, we can only see the here and now in life. We don't see the big picture like God sees. And so, and then the one Wednesday night service, I think the Wednesday night service here, and it says, make sure you are in a position that you are able to be used. Be a willing vessel. And I think back to that Wednesday night service, I'm like, maybe it started with one person praising God, and then it just had a ripple effect, maybe. And I'm like, if they weren't in that position and weren't willing, maybe we wouldn't have the reaction that we did. So it was just to me like, Lord, help me to always be in a position to serve you and to do what you want me to do and to give you the glory, because he is so worthy of it. I'm not trying to hound you guys or preach at you guys, but Lord, help us to be in that position and be willing to do whatever he has for us to do. And so I thank the Lord for allowing me to go to IHC and experience. It was really, truly incredible, and I thank him for that.
Well, the next person is getting ready. Sorry. I know I've already testified, but I feel like the Lord wants me to say something. This specific thing is not to make me look good or brag. This is a part of an incident a while back that I haven't actually shared, and there's kind of a reason why. And I'm gonna try to tie all this together. It may not work the way I want it to, but a year and a half ago, when I went to that TIP meeting, something I've not told in the story is, I was complimented on how I worship, and I was like, that just feels so weird. People don't say that in our movement. I understand why, because it's feels very self-conceited. Well, I don't want to take, I don't want to be a distraction to someone else in worship. And so much right now. The reason why I'm kind of crying, the song they played was my grandma's favorite song. And every time I hear it, I kind of get a little kind of touches my emotion, because that's the last thing we sang with her before she passed. And I can't wait to see her again. And he is worthy for everything, even the little silly things that may happen. But he is worthy for any and every praise we have.
All right. Praise God. Thank you for sharing, DG. Well, they stuck me right between the holder bombs, so if I come walking off here with a Pennsylvania accent, you guys know why. No, but best as I can count, I'm 22 years old, and this was my 20th year at IHC. Obviously, things were very different for all of us this year, but God really used just the whole experience as a whole just to help me grow. And actually, initially, I hadn't even really planned on going. I was going to stay and work, and then I got asked to do some things there, and so I went. I'm so glad that God worked it out, because He knew that I really needed it right now. I knew that I really needed that encouragement and that boost. And just a few things that stuck out to me. First of all, was I think Wednesday afternoon, Brother Plank talked to the young people about don't settle for being a shepherd when you can be a king. And then Wednesday night, your guys' song, I mean, how God just used that. And, you know, do you hear creation screaming? We do. You know, it's just, it really, I probably butchered that, Sister Whit, but it really just, I was crying and getting chills and everything. I just really feel God's presence, and that was just really encouragement that I really needed right then. And then the last service was Brother Louis Miranda, you guys know. And honestly, I don't remember even really what passage he spoke from. Jose could probably tell you, he heard it twice. But it really, sorry, buddy. God really just used that. And as I was sitting in that last service, I could just really feel God's presence, even though, you know, I was missing little snippets of what was being said. As I was sitting in that last service, God really just spoke to me and just really made it clear to me that this is all that matters. In this life, you know, it can be so easy to get so distracted with the mundane things of life. You know, I'm trying to get through school. I'm about to get married. I've got all this stuff going on in my life right now. And more than anything, God just said, just take a minute and realize that this is what matters. This is what is important. The things we do in this earth, the things we do in this life, you know, they have their time and place, and, you know, they're needful. But it's what we do for God's kingdom. It's what we do to honor God, and to what we do to glorify Him that really matters and what really counts. And so that's kind of what I walked away from IHC. Just an overall sense of encouragement, just an overall sense that God was there and He really dealt with us, or really met with us. And just me specifically, it was something that I really needed, and I praise Him and thank Him for that. And that's all I have for you guys. Brother Kyler, hold on.
Howdy, everybody. I don't know why, but man, Ben, you are tall. Heavens. I don't know why, but I thought that it was next week, so that's why I wasn't here. Oh, Elizabeth isn't here. So first, I'm just going to start off. Psalms 145 says, I will extol thee, my God, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever. Every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever and ever. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised, and His greatness is unsearchable. And this is my second year. That was my second year being at IHC. Like Keisha said, we were born in Pennsylvania. I went to a public school system my entire life. Not a good thing. I don't recommend it. But we were always kind of by ourselves there in Pennsylvania. Just kind of our own little tight-knit group. And being able to go to IH convention and to see all the thousands of people, like Keisha said, this is just going to sound like a repeat, but that truth resonates within me that I'm not alone, and that there was 3,000, maybe a record crowd there, of people that wear our same stripes, that wear our same clothing, that profess the same thing we profess, that we're not alone. And I just got so encouraged in that fact. And whenever the choir was singing that song, and I know I'm not a part of it this year, but man, I just kind of felt like one of you guys. Whenever, as soon as, is he worthy? Is he worthy? He is. And I just couldn't get over it. I instantly, just instantaneously leaped to my feet, praising God because he is worthy. And nothing of me, but all because of him. And just whenever that atmosphere, whenever the Holy Spirit came in such a powerful, undeniable, unmistakable way, he just swept across that crowd of 3,000 and some people and filled each and every single one. And almost everyone was on their feet praising God and glorifying him and humbling ourselves before him. It was just such a wonderful thing for me. It encouraged me. It blessed me. And I really just, that's really all I can say. I really can't fathom how much that blessed me. And words can't articulate how much that means to me. And I think I could just ramble on and on about that same exact point. But the Lord has blessed me abundantly to be able to put me in a wonderful, God-loving atmosphere, in a wonderful institution such as Union Bible College, for having me marry into the Buckler family, for allowing me to have the opportunity to go to the IH convention this year. It was such a wonderful, amazing blessing to me that I can say without a doubt that I will remember for the rest of my life. Great is his name. He is greatly to be praised. I love the Lord. He's so great to me, and man, I'm blessed beyond measure. He's a great big God. I can't wait to see him someday in heaven and just worship at his feet, because he alone is worthy, like you guys have sung so many times on choir tour. But is he worthy? Is he worthy? Is he? Amen. He is. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kyler. Thank you to everyone who participated and took part in the service. At this point, we're going to pray and then be dismissed. Brother Josh Muse, would you please lead us in prayer?
We thank you for the good time we had at IHC. Lord, we ask you to bless the rest of this day and